This next contest is scheduled for one fall.
This is Premier Championship Wrestling Sandusky Slam. We are on the road, one-on-one competition.
Representing Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 207 pounds, taking score member, the eccentric artist, R.C. Dupree.
The eccentric artist, R.C. Dupree, is on the way to the ring. My name is Joe Dombrowski. I'm joined by former Premier in-ring competitor, Aiden Bale, our guest analyst here tonight. And we are looking, young Aiden, at 1/4 of Team Storm. We know Jack Pollock, Jackson Argos is on the scene, the ever-unpredictable Brian Pillman Jr. Eccentric artist going to grace us with his voice.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle R.C. Dupree, et toi? Et toi? Oh, my apologies. Est-ce que tu peux parler français? You guys don't speak French. We're American! Last Saturday, I wanted to make a list of only 1,500 reasons why I love my tag team partner, Jack Pollock. Just 1,500, that's not a lot. As I was going through that list, that ignoramus Joe Dombrowski sent someone out for an impromptu match.
I beg your pardon.
And I lost. Because I wasn't ready for the match. But I'm ready. I'm very ready. So Joe Dombrowski, send on my opponent.
We'll see how ready R.C. Dupree
And his
is.
opponent,
Or will he get his eccentric rear end kicked? Another hungry athlete that's looking for an opportunity. Haven't seen him in Premier in quite some time. Sless Taylor has been a big part of Premier events in the past, but again, an individual, much like Brian Douglas in the prior match, that's kind of been on the outside looking in over the past year. Sless Taylor is a great natural athlete. He's a fitness nut. He's in the gym sometimes multiple times a day. He may have the lowest body fat percentage out of anybody that's ever competed in a Premier ring. And
wow,
what a great opponent for R.C. Dupree tonight. A week ago, R.C. took up what felt like half the show with 1,500 reasons he loves Jack Pollock. As a result, he was mangled by Jackson Stone. Tonight, he says he's ready, and I'm not convinced.
or one of those reasons that Jack Pollock wears Dove deodorant and is a Dove brother, because that would be my number one reason to love him. Good smelling dude.
You know way more about Jack Pollock than I do, my friend, but I
Well,
guess we all do our research differently.
Be that as it may, good smelling dude.
To be fair, R.C. Dupree only got through not even 10% of the list, so it may be on there somewhere.
I'd like a copy of that.
Celeste Taylor, well, most of the note cards are still scattered around Turner's Hall.
Look at that. You can already see how much faster he is than RC. So he's definitely putting the reps in the gym. Good for him.
As JR would say, RC's got a case of the limber tail.
The limber tail.
R.C. Dupree, by the way, contrary to what BC Steele says on these broadcasts, is not Canadian or French Canadian. He is a Canadian sympathizer. He trained under Lance Storm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as did Argos, Pollock, and Pillman Jr., and now they think they are superior to Americans. They have denounced their American citizenship, and they are honorary Canadians in their mind.
I don't know. That accent sounded pretty thick. It was really tough to understand him. I think it was...
That's because he was speaking French. It's not language.
I know. I'm saying the accent. It was really French. It was really authentic.
It was really French. As R.C. Dupree with the hammerlock. Doesn't take much to impress you, does it?
Easy to please.
Taylor backs Dupree into the corner.
Good guy, giving him the space. All right, I respect that.
Well, we got a clean break that time. Dupree is, when you talk about the mental aspect, psychologically, when you talk about being a dirty player, so to speak, I'll give him the full advantage here, but athletically speaking, if this matchup stays in close, this is Sless Taylor's match to win or lose. Seen Sless battle the likes of Lee Moriarty in the past.
Well, let's see what he can do now. So far, so good.
And Sless is one of those guys who he just needs that one win to really get a major boost of momentum on his side and maybe work his way up the ranks. The competition in Premier is so stiff. It is so evenly matched. It is... it could change at the drop of a hat. Anybody can beat anybody on a given night in Premier, as you can attest to from your ring wars. Certainly, you've come in the underdog at times and shocked people.
And that's the thing. That's it's a blessing and it's a curse, because you could be so ready for somebody one night and then you could be totally blown away by somebody else the next. You never know who's going to be stepping through that curtain, who's going to be stepping in that locker room. You got to be on your toes at all times.
Dupree with the chance now. What does it feel like to be underestimated? How does that change your approach to things? Are you able to capitalize on that, catch somebody with their guard down?
You know what? I think I like it, because that means that you don't know exactly what I have. When I'm ready to unveil it, when I'm ready to unveil, Aiden Vale, how you doing? Whenever I'm ready to show you exactly what it is, you're not going to be there for it. So it's a good thing. It's definitely to your advantage.
You have some accents too. Sless Taylor backs Dupree up into the ropes as we get a clean break, but Sless Taylor gets the psychological edge.
He's in his head. Yep, that's what that means.
I think Dupree's more upset he lost his hair tie.
Those are some luscious locks. I would think you should let those babies fly.
Quite the golden mane.
Let them down. Let them ride.
And RC was reaching for the flag. I think Sless Taylor was paying attention a week ago when it was the Canadian flag, and the flagpole specifically, as Dupree now is able to bait Sless in, trip him up, and go to work. It was the flagpole jabbed into Gregory Iron's skull that led to Jackson Argos beating Gregory Iron. There was a 3-on-1 beatdown until Alex Daniels made the save. This Calgary or this Canada versus Cleveland rivalry has certainly intensified lately now that the Argos-Pillman Alliance and the Pollock-Dupree Alliance have merged, and Gregory Iron, Alex Daniels, and perhaps some others are left to kind of regroup and figure out their approach. Cleveland here is behind the 8-ball.
Yeah, that's usually the story.
Great instincts by Sless to get off his back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to watch when you're in that ring. I don't care how bad you're down, how bad you're hurt, you got to make sure your shoulders are not in a position where your opponent can take it.
And that was a very well done high-angle German release suplex, deep hook of the leg for 2. Dupree only been in the game a couple of years. We mentioned a Landstorm student, and there's not many more technically inclined, underrated athletes in the past couple of decades in this on this continent, if not the whole business, than Lance Storm. Lance has instilled a lot of qualities in Dupree.
Wow.
There's that athleticism of Sless Taylor.
He's right back in it.
The Russian leg sweep.
Oh, he's going for more.
And Sless telling him he was that close and RC to the eyes.
And that's all it could take. It could be who's going to make the first mistake.
That is, that's an example of the technique there that is the disparity between the two of them. Sless Taylor went fancy, went high risk, went intricate. RC Dupree goes to the eyes. Shades of Kurt Hennig with the neck snap, and shades of who knows who with that kiss. Into the cover. 2-0. Dupree considers, as the eccentric artist, this is his canvas, is tonight his first major masterpiece.
Well, it looks like if he does make a mistake, he could take after the good old Bob Ross, just turn into a happy something else, you know what I mean? So whatever he's going to do, he's gonna back it up, and let's just hope that Taylor comes out on top, because I'm not too keen on this feller here. What do you think his trainer would think of his attitude, the good old RC?
First, let's let the record show that we've compared RC Dupree to Bob Ross as the Enziguri's been missed. I think Lance Storm would be ashamed of a lot of what Team Storm has done. Great elevation of the drop kicks by Sless Taylor.
He's picking it up. Yeah, look at him. High energy.
I'm not sure if Lance Storm ever knew what to make of Brian Pillman Jr. as Sless off the mark that time, but adjusting to a cover for 2. Brian Pillman embarrassed the welterweight brand, embarrassed myself, humiliated Gregory Iron on live pay-per-view across the world. He had so many unkind, disparaging things to say about Gregory Iron that were completely out of line.
I hate when that happens.
Like father, like son, as Dupree tossed the flag in as a distraction, Dupree just went downstairs on Taylor. There's a roll-up, and RC Dupree gonna steal this. He sure as hell wasn't taught that by Lance Storm.
Yeah, he didn't deserve that victory.
RC Dupree.
And if I'm correct, that's Dupree's first one-on-one victory in a premier ring. Certainly, Dupree may chalk that up to a masterpiece, but that was abstract art at best. That was an off-brand Picasso, because Dupree absolutely stole this one.
Stole it. Big time.
Dupree has his flag back, has success, and you gotta believe there'll be a mass text to the rest of Team Storm gloating about this victory. It's Canada over Ohio once again.